On track, Minfilia remains adrift in the turbulent sea of thought. Oh, I'm sorry, I was just stuck in my own head again. It's clear that Magnus has no intention of helping us, but perhaps we should ask the other residents? They may know something of the trolley. I'll take the north side of town. Let me know if you learn anything. Thancred, art thou truly content to stand witness to fate's course and take no part? This isn't a matter of fate, Uranje. It's about choice, and I've had years to decide where I stand. Minfilia has spent too long in chains already. I would not shackle her again by making my hopes known. It is for her to choose what shape her destiny will take. It is for me to stay silent, to protect her, teach her, and stand by her. That, at least I can do for her. So be it. Come, let us make our own inquiries. Oh, there you are. You'll be pleased to know that I got our friend back home with no trouble. He's just fine. He just was a bit shaken up, is all. And you? What did Magnus have to say? Absolutely nothing. He's a drunk asshole. Oh! I did have a faint hope that your need might prompt him to action where our interest has not. But I suppose that was foolish of me. I'm sorry that we couldn't be of help, though. I could at least show you the trolley car we have here, if you like. You could give it a stroke or two. It has some very smooth wood. I didn't like the way you said that. You mean to say you're not giving up, even knowing that Magnus is Magnus? I don't see much point in your being stubborn about it, though. Though perhaps stubbornness is exactly what this situation calls for. Can't forge iron without an anvil, after all. I can't imagine that anything you try will work, but if you're certain, you can help me make preparations in the event that it does. To the end, take this toolbox. We're going to inspect the rails. I'll have a look along the tracks for anything that is in need of repair. You bring the tools, and I'll be ready to hand them to me wherever I stop to work. Oh boy. I did not see you there before. What, I just have to be near him to do this? You open the box, revealing the proud array of lovingly maintained tools within. Brilliant! Now you can hand me what I need as I work. That would be a help. In this case, well, this bolt is loose for one matter. We can't have that. I'll need to tighten it. A vicious-looking saw. A rag cloth. Well, I'll be a good helper. Give him the wrench. Thank you! This one will do nicely! Oh, thank you! Now give me one moment, Anne. There, I don't see any other problems here. So let's continue along the track. You set down the toolbox, the muscles of your arms enjoying profound relief, and open it once again. You're quite handy to have around, you know? As a lamp here, these aren't often necessary these days, but if we're going to do this, we might as well do it properly. And if by some miracle the night returns, as it did in Lakeland, well, it's a nice thought. Anyhow, a bit of this post seems to have splintered. Whether it's lamp to be lit or not, we wouldn't want these little pieces of wood jabbing the next person who comes through here to do maintenance. I'll need to sand it down a bit. A bulky saw, a heavy hammer, a rough file. Yes! A wood file's perfect! Let me even this out. Oh, thank you! That should do it. I'll bring some varnish along next time you finish the job. I haven't spotted any other problems, so we can move along now, unless you'd like to take in the view of the tracks from here for a bit longer? It's breathtaking, I know. Mining has always been the primary vocation of the folks in the Hills of Amber, you see, but after a certain point they had dug up everything that could easily be reached and carried back by manpower alone. It was then that the Naboth Empire struck upon the idea of the Talos, which they had seen at work abroad. At great expense, the Naboth brought the Mystel engineers who specialized in Talos here, to the hills, and wouldn't you know it, the mining industry picked right up again. Twine itself sprung up around that time. As a matter of fact, it was named after the entwining of tales, the fruitful cooperation between the Ronzo and the newly come Mystel. Alright, so as a reminder, the Ronzo are the cat people, which are called Hrothgar over on the source. And the newly come Mystel, just a reminder, those are the Mikote, the cat people. But that, like so much else, fell apart in the wake of the flood. The Mystel left, taking their knowledge with them. It was 15 years ago that the last of them, the folks of Daedalus Stoneworks, took off for Yulmore, and now no one remains that can repair the now no one remains that can repair and operate the Talos. But there's no use in lamenting what can't be changed, and there's one more thing we need to do while we're out here, so we might as well get to it. Vultures occasionally make their nests on the track, you see, and it falls to us to remove them when they do. The creatures are angry when disturbed, which is natural, but nevertheless a danger to anyone passing by. It's not my favorite task, to be honest with you. As you may have noticed, I'm not terribly suited to confrontation. That said, would you follow the tracks north and remove any nests you find for me? I'll keep an eye on things from here. Awesome. Let's kill some vultures. I'm gonna make it. Must have my esteem work for me. Oh, that was fun. That was easy. Return to Monkey. Thank you! Thank you! That should be everything taken care of. In return for your help, I'll help you a bit more about the trolley. Nothing that can get started again, though. As I said, the only people who knew how to repair the talos are long gone. When they left, the life began to bleed out of the town. The trolley's tracks rusted and its cars fell into disrepair. Now, I was born in Twine, raised there. My first word was trolley. Damn it. And those were the worst years of my life. About 7 years passed, Magnus and his wife returned to us. Magnus is a real proper trolley engineer, and perhaps he would never have left in the first place if it hadn't been for his son. As you're well aware, Almorang is hardly the safest place, and Magnus wanted his child to grow up away from its dangers. It didn't help in the end. The Sin Eaters got the boy. Isn't that always the way? The child had always said that someday he wanted to see Magnus's trolley running again, so in his memory they returned to Twine. Started fixing those rusted rails and broken cars. And it was going well for a time. What was that? Wicked white vultures! Are they back for revenge? Never mind, I don't want to find out! So it's likely his wife died, right? I mean... it's enough to make anyone get demotivated. Nice work out there. And now you know the story of the trolley. Won't do much good without the talos though. If there was even a single one that was still functioned, things might be different. But well, here we are. Down for maintenance. Despite his better judgment, Jarek is considering throwing you a bone. Not that it'll do you any good, but we do have a talos we've been meaning to repair. I can show you if you'd like. It'd certainly be nice to hear something other than Magnus's griping for a change. No, don't talk to your Anjay. Thou come to examine the talos? Truly a most vexing state of affairs. I thought mayhap closer examination might yield something of value. I see that the means to build talos stone by stone are lost to us, 'tis true, but here before us slumbers a most fine specimen. Indeed, were it not for a few minor failings, it would be in working condition. 'Twill likely require not but a few modest repairs and a suffusion of ether. Oh, was that Udanjay saying that? Crap. Well, if you think you can get the thing up and running, far be it from me to stop you. But what exactly do you reckon is the problem? I should stress that I have performed only the most cursory of examinations, though such arcane constructs are not wholly unfamiliar to me, as I did suspect from the first. It is host to a network of veins through which ether floweth freely. So it would, were it not for several fractures which now impede said flow. How in the hells did you get all that from just a glance? I take it you thought of a solution as well then. To bridge these fissures require a material highly conductive to ether. Once in place, I believe it will be possible to restore the talos to life. Might I prevail upon thee to acquire that which we require? Not far beyond the walls of Twine dwelleth a creature of living stone, the Debitage. Full sure am I to that stone. Full sure am I that stone from which. Oh my god. Full sure am I that stone from such a being would prove most suitable to our needs. Very good. I shall have Thancred and Minfilia attend me in the remaining preparations. I spied but 3 obstructions in the flow of ether in the Talos, and thus would I ask you to provide 3 stones of debitage. All else will be made ready upon thy return. Yep, I seen them. It's these the bastards right here. Tancred and Mephilia will return ere long with the remaining supplies we require. Didst thou succeed in procuring stone from the debitage? Debitage, I still don't know. It's probably one of those. Fine specimens, one and all. You have my thanks. We need now but wait for Tancred and Mephilia's return. From end to end, the paths which ether may flow through the Talos have been duly mended. They will require a sufficient endowment. It's not moving. Strange, the core refuses to stir. I fear the condition of this Talos is more dire than I previously surmised. As heart drive blood through a man's veins, so doth the core ether throughout this massive frame. Failing its repair or replacement, the Talos cannot be restored. So it was the heart after all. Talos, didst foresee this outcome? Well, no, not exactly. We'd never gotten this far in trying to repair it. So we had no way of knowing the heart was the real problem. We tried to find another in case things turned out as they are now, but... Jarek? This isn't really my story to share. Please, Jarek, if something went wrong, maybe we can help. Alright, after you lot have done for me, for all you lot have done for me, I suppose it's the least I can do. Down for maintenance is done. We're about to be down for maintenance very soon. The truth hurts. Jarek may come to regret his next decision. Right then, the Talos. Their hearts cannot be made of just any stone. You need a special sort with sufficient ethereal conductivity. Both it and the other materials used in the construction of Talos bodies are mined in the same place. That place, of course, being here, the Hills of Amber. It was 3 years ago when she... No, I can't. I'm sorry. You'll just have to hear it from Thaf or someone else. The towns wasn't mine in the same place. Wait, what? Okay. Back to the tavern then. Back to old Magnus's drunken body. Oh, he's not there. Still here, eh? You can ask again, but the answer's the same. Our trolleys are... What cuts, damn it? God damn it, Jarek. You could have at least finished so I wouldn't have to clean up your mess. Seeing how you made such quick progress fixing the Talos and all, he was probably thinking you could help change things around here. I think he may be right. Gather your friends. I'll tell you what you want to know.
Magnus's wife was a miner, you know.
Oh.
Greatest prospector there ever was.
Voice. Awesome.
When the golem heart started failing, she was the first to head out in search of more. Problem was, most of the veins ran dry ages ago, and finding fresh ones to tap's only gotten harder. But she wasn't one to be deterred. She just kept digging deeper and deeper. And then the mine collapsed. We labored day and night to clear away the rubble, but it took us 2 months to find her. To find her body. Magnus has never been the same since.
Where is he, if you don't mind my asking?
Ah, yes, well, if he's not here, there's only one other place he'd be.
What? Oh, you again. How many times must I tell you? The trolley won't run! We'd be better off dismantling the damn thing and selling the parts for scrap. Now, piss off back to wherever you came from. Don't let me catch you around here again.
What were their names?
My son was named Skuli. My wife, Agna. Being here with them, it beats going home. Home stopped being home when I lost them. I thought to try and drown my sorrows, but somehow the bottle's never deep enough.
No bottle is. Believe me, I know.
You've lost someone too?
Not like you. Not my own flesh and blood. I grew up an orphan, so I never really knew what family meant. Not until I met a man who offered to take me in and make me his pupil. He was a kindly soul, always looking out for me, like a father. Not that I appreciated that at the time, or anything else for that matter.
Talking about Louis Soir.
But I finally had a family. And then I robbed a young girl of hers. I did my best to make amends, to offer her comfort. But the more I look back on it, the more I realize just how inadequate my efforts were. I let her down. That is why I refuse to let her legacy die. In the end, all we can do is press on. For those we have lost. For those we can yet save. And that requires your Talos. Please, Magnus. You are our only hope of reaching Nabarth Areng.
What rubbish.
She's not gone. No matter what you say or believe, she's not. We can still bring her back.
Oh. It's difficult. Full well do I know the pain and loss of how heavily it can weigh on one's heart. Nevertheless, there is but one way forward. We must needs procure a new heart for the Talos. Thaf, knowest thou of any location where we might find the stone we require? No matter how scant the possibility, we would seize it. I told you near all the veins were tapped dry years ago, though I suppose if you really wanted to try, you might find something at Nuvi's Levings. Nuvi's Levings. It was open well before Talos became a commonplace, which is why the mining there was never quite as deep. When you get there, look for Guthjon and tell him I sent you, but don't be surprised if he tells you the same thing. Thine assistance is most appreciated. Alright, I think it's best Anchor joined thee in this search. Though he wouldst be quick to deny it, his heart is in turmoil. And his thoughts clouded. 'Twould be unwise to ignore his distress. Off to somewhere, are you? At last, lead on the stone we need to part the Talos. Kevin will have you to go on your own. Lead the way. A convenient distraction. Thancred is tired of waiting around. I say we're long overdue for a good turn. I can only hope the gods feel the same way. Now, Luvi's Leavings was to the south, was it? Let's get going. The way you described it, I was expecting the place to be abandoned. Perhaps our fortunes are finally improving, though we should probably hear what Guthjon has to say before we celebrate. Assuming we can find him, that is. I have not checked on my CPU at all. Let me see how we're doing. Okay, it's not bad. Just it's hovering in the 80s. Who are you? And what are you doing in here? Well, you should have listened to Theft. You're wasting your time. But this site is not as developed as the others, is it not? Surely there must be something left. I should explain. This stone you're looking for is Leonin. Leonin. Nice. All the tiles in the Hills of Amber are hard using them. Or were at least. Whatever's left, if anything, is far too below to be safely excavated. In the deepest reaches of the mine, we use tiles to keep the pathways from collapsing. They're still there, but they could give out at any time, which is much of the mine. Yeah, which is why much of the mine is closed off. Yeah, god dang. There are only options to search for the higher levels for any fragments of Leonin that may have been overlooked. I suppose there may be one other way. Well, don't leave us in suspense. What you're asking for is a trade secret. I'll need to be duly compensated in exchange. Great. Fine, what do you want? The other day I found Verbert gold piece down in the mines. A bloody Verbert gold piece. And wouldn't you know it, I dropped the damn thing somewhere while I was working. Find it and I'll tell you what you want to know. You drive a hard bargain, sir, but we'll take it. It seems we have our work cut out for us, Firemac. Thankfully, I have an idea for how we might hurry things along. Oh yeah? Well, don't leave me in suspense! I'm sure you've noticed, despite their best efforts to illuminate the corridors, it's rather dark in here, meaning it will be that much harder to find a single coin hiding in the shadows. That's why I propose we use these sun drops. They help the eye take in more light. Why don't you start by your search further in, and I handle this area here. I'll retrace your steps after. I'll retrace your steps after in case you happen to miss it. If you feel the drop's effects are wearing off, I'll give you more, so don't worry. You search the shadows but find nothing. Perhaps a gold piece lies elsewhere. Cool, that doesn't cancel out the buff. You search. It's not the. Okay, so not the gold piece. It's probably in the little ditch I didn't go into, right over here. Wait, why can't I? Oh, it's. You search the shadows, a glint catches your eye, you turn over a rock, and you find the Voibert gold piece. Woohoo! So I thought I could go in here, but nope. Invisible wall. I was hoping he'd drop the gold piece somewhere closer to the entrance, more fool me for thinking Lady Luck was on our side. Or maybe she is, yours at least. In the end, my contribution was little more than poor company. Come on now, Thancred, you were far more prepared for this task than I. No more than usual, I assure you. I only managed to survive the Kurthan wilderness and the Imperial capital by virtue of extensive preparation, a habit of mine since childhood, and one of my few positive traits which endeared me to Louis, I imagine. It hasn't been easy finding ways to compensate for my condition. Every tool and trinket has proven vital to my continued success, such as it is. Had I chosen to pursue the arcane arts rather than espionage, well, I'd rather not think on it. So long as I have the means to protect those dear to me and to see my duties through, that's all that matters. Now let's hurry and see that return to Guthjon. The sooner we get back to Uranjay and Menfilia, the better. You're back. Wait, does that mean? I'll be damned, you actually found it. Well, a deal's a deal. But don't think this means you'll find what you're after. A dirty job. Luckily for you, Guthon is a man of his word. To be honest, I wasn't sure you could pull it off, but you did, and I'm a man of my word. Come with me. Seriously, we have to go outside? After all of that? Every time I step out of those mines, the sky seems to get brighter. I'd never leave them in the air. I'd never leave them if the air weren't so stale. But you're not come here. Bleh. You're not come to hear my grievances. You're after Leonin. First, I have to ask: you ever heard of rockworms? Yeah, I killed one not too long ago. Rockworms? I know them by another name, though I'm fairly certain the locals call them knockers. Aye, that they do. Whatever you want to call them, those little bastards may be the answer to your troubles. They can fit through cracks and crevices down where we could never hope to reach. And on occasion, they come back with something valuable. They dig up Leonin in the mines? It's a rare occurrence, but yes, that said, it usually amounts to no more than a few flakes. Well, our only other option sounds tantamount to suicide, so how can we draw out these rockworms? Over by the shack, you'll find a bag full of smokes. A bag full of smoke. A bag full of smoke bombs. Set off a few in the mines, and you'll flush them out in no time. Once they're out in the open, knock them senseless and check their backs. I should warn you, this method of mining, if you can even call it that, is used as a last resort on account that what little they'd like to bring back. You'll want to cover as much ground as you can if you hope to find anything of value. Assuming you do find something, bring it here and I'll have a look. We should split up if we're to cover more ground as you suggest. If you can cover these 3 areas on your map, I'll see to the parts between them. Interacting. Mother effer? Like the music just like does not want to start, does it? Hear me all you like, you're not gonna reach me. The air in the mines grows thick with smoke, and nearby you hear the soft rumbling of stones. No, there's more. Wait, there's more than one in this area? What? I only saw the one. Also, I realize the weekly reset just happened because I'm getting that bosom buddies things again. Freaking 7 locations. My gosh. Alright, still need to get to the other ones. Oh boy. Almost done. 2 more locations, everybody. 2 more locations. Oh my god, can I target it? Stop targeting Chocobo! Oh, there's more. There you are. Find anything promising? This. We found this. Between the two of you, I'd say you've got quite the haul. But best get comfortable, friends. It's going to take time for me to sift through all this.
You may not remember this about Arminfilia, but prior to founding the Path of the 12, long before the Scions, she was something of a miner. After her father died, Flamine took her in and taught her the trade. I think they were both seeking to fill the void left by a loved one. Maybe that's why she took to it so readily. Back in those days, I spent most of my time in the Quicksand, or some other tavern, loosening tongues and gathering secrets. Occasionally, I'd catch a glimpse of her in the street, on her way home after another hard day's work. I always felt a wave of relief when I saw she'd come back safe, along with a pang of guilt at the fact I wasn't there to support her as I should have been. Simply speaking with her more than once in a blue moon would have been a good start, but I could never bring myself to do it. Instead, I threw myself into my work and became every drunkard's best friend.
I can't imagine she thought too highly of you back then.
Not too highly, no. She once called me a wine-sodden wharf rat, which wouldn't have been half as galling had it not been so accurate. But that was a lifetime ago. Here and now I have another chance to do things right, and I will not squander it again.
Hey, come and see what I found. You're not going to believe this.
Tell me it's Leonine.
Oh, now it's Leonine. It's not Leonin.
It is
Whatever.
at that. You lot were born lucky. It's mostly broken pieces. But look at this.
They actually
This
put
is a
something.
rather fine specimen.
They actually put something in his hand, and not invisible nothings.
It's been decades since we found anything approaching this big. But that's not all. There's an engraving on it.
Oh.
Ah, these scratches here. They're a little hard to make out. To my beloved Magnus and Schoolie.
Oh.
Yes! Do you see? It was a gift to Magnus from his wife.
I forgot
She
about
found
that.
it. She really found it.
That's adorable. I forgot about
He
that.
must have spent her final hours carving this message into the stone, in the hope that he might see it one day. Those rock-backed bastards must have made off with it before we could clear a path to her. It's fate that brought you here to find this stone. No other explanation. It makes me wonder what else might still be buried in these parts.
So that's what gets him out of his stupor.